If there's one show that raises way more questions than it answers, it's The Amazing Digital Circus. So did you catch all the creepy little clues and hidden characters in episode 5? For example, did you notice that Kaufmo made an appearance? In case you don't remember, Kaufmo is that sad clown who used to live in the circus along with the others shortly before Pomni showed up. Actually, he was still there when she arrived, but he had lost his sanity and turned into a shadowy, super powerful creature covered in eyeballs that wanted to destroy everything and everyone. Now in the second adventure of episode 5, the one imagined by Jax, we see Pomni as the President of the United States. And if you look behind her, you'll notice some framed pictures. One of them clearly shows that same monstrous version of Kaufmo that Kane locked in the creepy basement at the end of episode 1. In the same storyline, when Kinger shows up, check out the painting on the wall behind him. It's actually a drawing of the Candy Kingdom Fortress featured in episode 2. A little later, when Jax enters the presidential hall, if you pause at just the right moment, it goes by fast. You'll spot a photo of a former president of the United States. And guess who it is? Did you catch that? Yeah, neither did I. We only noticed it the second time we watched the episode, and those are just a few of the 30 hidden details you probably missed in episode 5 of The Amazing Digital Circus. Let's dive in and blow your mind together. Still in the same storyline where Pomni is president, right when Jax walks into the room and says he's going to detonate a spider bomb, if you look closely behind him, you'll spot 2 of those familiar NPC dummies that show up often in the series. But this time, they're super tiny and just sitting there like passive little spectators. And if you watch the episode, you'll remember that right at the start. When the group returns from one of Kane's adventures, Pomni is soaking wet and falls flat on her face. Then, as she lifts her head, she notices something weird hiding behind one of the circus props. If you pause and zoom in, you'll see it's one of those same tiny NPCs. It immediately runs away after realizing Pomni spotted it. That adds an eerie vibe to the whole episode, and maybe even to what's coming next. Now jumping to the anime-style adventure imagined by Gangle, the first thing we see is a drawing pinned to the bottom right corner of the board in the background. It's a sketch of Kane himself. Clearly, the AI running the Digital Circus universe has at least a bit of an ego. Also, on the cabinet right next to that board, we can see pictures of each resident of the Digital Circus: Jax, Ragatha, Gangle, Pomni, and Zubul, in that exact order from top to bottom. Later, in the Japanese high school setting, we see another yellow paper with Kane's face drawn on it, this time on the bulletin board right behind Jax. That same board is filled with sketches of what seems to be the same character in different scenarios. For example, in one, she's in a pumpkin patch, very Halloween movie style. In another, she's sitting and looking thoughtful. In yet another, she's holding and firing a laser gun. And beside that, she's lifting a mallet behind her head, ready to slam it down like a carnival game. Right after that, we see Gangle doodling all over her desk. Since this is her adventure, those sketches are probably coming straight from her subconscious and were made real by Kane. At the exact moment we see Gangle drawing and getting all shy, if you look closely behind her, in the bottom right corner, you'll spot an origami figure of Kaufmo's monstrous eye-covered version. Before we go any further revealing all the hidden details from episode 5 of The Amazing Digital Circus, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now heading into the bar adventure, if we look closely, we can spot several glowing signs outside the bar. And the most striking one features, guess who? Kane's face once again. Inside the bar, we can see a black and white framed picture, which matches the color scheme of nearly everything in there, showing the circus from an exterior view. Below that, we can also see an object that looks like a mini checkers board with the CNA logo underneath it. That's the same mysterious logo that showed up in episode 1 in the abandoned office, where Pomni is desperately searching for a way out. Just a reminder, there's a popular theory that this logo stands for Cain and Abel, a reference to the tragic biblical story of one brother killing the other out of jealousy. There's also yet another portrait that directly references Kane himself, as always. When Zubul is working behind the bar mixing drinks for everyone, you can spot one of the bottles she uses has Kane's face right on the label, and it's called Digital Cayenne Berry, as if the circus's maniacal AI had its own line of liquor. We also find out that Zubul used to work at a bar when she was human in the real world, and later at a tattoo parlor. At the same time, we discover that Pomni used to be an accountant for a supermarket chain. In her free time, she would explore abandoned buildings and post the videos on YouTube. She believes that's the reason she ended up in the Digital Circus. Right after that, we also learn about Gangle's past job. She used to work at a fast food joint. Plus, she had started studying graphic design, since she clearly loves drawing and seems to be really talented at it, which makes us understand even better why episode 4's whole adventure took place inside a fast food restaurant. As for Ragatha, we find out that she came from a wealthy, traditional farming family. She said her relationship with her mother was complicated and that she worked as a real estate agent before ending up in the Amazing Digital Circus. Back to the bar's decor, there's another frame you probably missed, showing the suits of a deck of cards, spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds. After that scene, Kane transports everyone to the next location, which turns out to be a stadium where a softball game is underway. And right away you can spot the dark humor of the AI running the circus on the game's scoreboard, specifically in the fake sponsors he came up with for this adventure. One of them is a tire company branded with the name and face of Kaufmo, the clown who went insane back in the first episode. And the other is the fast food chain from episode 4, Spudsies. Kane's sense of humor really is bizarre. Another familiar face that shows up on the stadium billboards is the Moon, along with a message about getting a good night's sleep. Hat same Moon who has a crush on Kane. Why is she into him? Honestly, we have no clue. In this adventure, Kane seems to be acting as the announcer for the softball game. And if you look closely, you'll see there's a pair of headphones sitting on his desk. And on the side, you can spot the same CNA brand that showed up in episode 1 and also appeared briefly in one of the paintings inside the bar, like we pointed out earlier. Right after that, we see the brand again, this time on a binder behind Kane. And on top of it, there's a document labeled Television. Could Glitch Productions be hinting that a TV network should fund the show and start airing the episodes on regular TV? And we can't forget to point out one more appearance of the mysterious mini NPC who was first seen by Pomni at the beginning of the episode and was also spotted sitting in the president's office during one of the earlier scenes. And the CNA logo pops up multiple times on the sponsor boards in the background of the softball game too. Did you catch that? Oh, the same logo shows up again on the wall behind the stadium announcer's office. This really reinforces the idea that CNA is the one pulling the strings in that chaotic digital world. Another cool detail we noticed in that same scene is a double reference to another one of the supposed sponsors of the game. There's a parody of the famous drink brand Gatorade. Only in the digital circus world, it's been rebranded as Gator Goo. And on top of that, the face of the brand is the same alligator from episode 2 who found out, thanks to Pomni, that he was just a game character, and was promptly deleted by Kane after Pomni tried to bring him to live in the digital circus with the others. Honestly, I was almost traumatized that day. While the circus crew is chatting on the bench, we can see that Zubul sneakily places a corn cob near Jax without him noticing. Back at the bar, we find out that, for reasons still unknown, Jax is terrified of corn cobs. We also find out that something happened to his old friends, maybe even within the digital circus environment. And to end the episode on a creepy, suspenseful note, we once again see the mini NPC lurking in the background, eyeing everyone in a very suspicious way. Are we about to witness an NPC uprising in episode 6 or something? Liked the video? Then hit that like button. We've picked out 2 more videos for you to keep the fun going. Pick one and let's dive into the next one.